So here we are, Watch Dogs Legion. It's an interesting game. I have to say, I started playing this without having played the first two, mainly because I read the reviews of the other two and they didn't seem particularly exciting to me. They didn't seem very different. And one of the things I firstly want to say about Watch Dogs Legion is just how different it is. You can see here, one of the things it got critiqued for a lot I've seen is that you're not playing as one character, so it's not so immersive because basically you're playing as any character in the map. And okay, yeah, I get that. You know, if we can be, Commander Shepard in Mass Effect, or we can be The Witcher, then okay, fine, that's good. We want to be that. That's a great identity. Or we can create one character that we want to be in lots of games, and that's also great. And I've done that in many games. But the thing about this is it's unusual, and it was disappointing to me that I read often that people said, yeah, but it's very unimmersive, and you can't be one character. You're being loads of different characters. But, I mean, come on, surely there's room for a game where you can be many characters. There's room in the world of video games for any amount of different takes on how to play. The fact that there's a game, and I think it's quite amazing. It was amazing when I first played this, and I've played many video games over a very long period of time, that you can literally run around London. This is based in London, if you don't know. And you can literally pick any character, as I'm doing now, anyone in the street, and you can not only see who they are, you can also you can recruit that person and then play later as that person. You can play up to 40 different characters in your team. They all have different skills. They all have different personalities. I think it's very clever, and it's very unusual as well, the way that Watch Dogs Legion managed to make all the NPCs different. Here you can see, this an Albion guard who's like a security guard in the game. You don't need to know the game to know what it is. Roughing up a civilian, and if you click on the civilian, you can see who he is. And I could now swap and recruit him for a mission and play him. Now, it is different immersion, I agree, to play lots of different characters. It just needs imagination. I think they've done really, really well that every character has a voice. Literally, they have a character. Some of them have got attitude. Some of them have hugely different skill sets. And you do feel, when you're playing, that each character, not just because they have different voices and skills, but they have like different characters. And I think part of the immersion you need in this game is to actually have some imagination, because when you're playing Geralt of Rivia in The Witcher, or Commander Shepard in Mass Effect, that's your character, and you don't need a lot of imagination to be Commander Shepard or Geralt of Rivia. But in this, you need imagination. You need to think about who your character's going to be, what they're doing, and I think the clever thing in this is that you have so many options of being different characters. And it takes a whole different level of immersion. Also, I think it's much more, in a sense, much more realistic, because in lots of games, I'll list some: Far Cry, Fallout. Again, they're really good games. There's good and bad in all games I've played. There's no game that I think this is totally bad. But, they're very, you're the person who's doing this thing. In Far Cry, often you're the one who turns up and you have to do all the missions, if not by yourself, maybe with a couple of other people. In this, it's much more, I'd say, realistic, in that you're playing Dead Set, which is a agency, counter-cultural agency, against the government and the dictatorship in London, and you're playing as many different agents, which is actually what would happen if you were playing in an agency. You wouldn't be one person who went out and did all the missions, who had the special skills. You would need an agency of many people. They would all go out different times. In this, if you can see this on the map, there's the map, and you can see I have different agents everywhere, and I can literally click on any agent. There's an agent. I can just go there if I wanted to do a mission that was in her vicinity, or just go to that area. And map of London, I live in London, so it's a really good map of London to just play with, just to go around London and see the sights. It's actually quite fun. You can drive around there, you can take a boat down the Thames, which is also really nice. So yeah, as you'll see in a moment, you can just swap to any agent you want to be, and you can go and be there. Now I'm this agent, Vanessa, and she's completely different in not just in aesthetics and physical appearance, but her voice and her character and her skills are different to the last agent. And I just walked into somebody. And the other thing that's really good, really good in this game, I'd say it's actually the best game I've played for NPCs, not just because you can suddenly become anybody you want to be and you can see all their skills, but everyone is actually, you can see this guy is posting a poster. Every single NPC is actually doing something in the world, and they really look like they're doing something. That woman's shocked because this character I'm playing is famous, so she's shocked that she's seen him in the street. And so is this guy. And you see people going about their normal work, they react to you depending on whether you've got a gun or you're famous. People are talking to each other, people are going about their normal jobs, and you can speak to everybody virtually. And I think that's amazing, because there's very few games where every NPC is someone that you can not only speak to, but you can actually also play, you can interact with, and they're actually in the world that they've created in this game. They're actually doing what they would do. They're walking, they're going shopping. You could follow this character who's Maria Davis, and you could follow her, and she will be going somewhere, and at some point she may go into a building where you can't follow her. You can go into pubs, but you can't go into every building, but only the mission buildings and a few other buildings. But you could follow her, and she'll be going to a location which is part of her playing the game. This guy is protesting on a street corner and selling newsletters. This guy's protesting here, and everyone is doing something. These people are just chatting. So if you see it, it'll say they're loitering, because that's what they're doing. And it's just amazing how every NPC is actually playable, doing something, and you don't get that in Far Cry, you don't get that in Mass Effect, you don't get that in Fallout, you don't get that in Assassin's Creed, you don't get that in any other game to this level, and I think that's to be highly commended. Yes, there's things about it if you want to play a specific character, just one, where it's not going to be to your taste, and that's fine, it's not to your taste, and sometimes it's not to my taste. But I think there's definitely a market in gaming for a game like this, because it's unusual, and there are so many games where you can create your one character, or you play as just one character that's kind of preset.